slightly past. We will have an invocation by Ms. Diener and a brand new Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Frazee.
Lord, we pause before our business begins to seek your direction. Thank you for the opportunity to serve together. Bless this room with peace, open our minds, and give us the wisdom to make decisions that build up our community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll.
Cameron.
Excuse for a moment. He'll be joining shortly.
Oh, he's going to join us. Yes, sir. Okay. Constant. Dafsco.
Excused.
All right. Diener. Del Giorno. Deppie. Lucas Williams. Feipel. Forsyth. Frazee. Fulgenzi. Guyton.
Present.
Hall. Correll. Lathan. Lathan? I know she's here. Oh, she won't be here then?
Excused.
Okay. Madonia? Here. McGuire? Here. Mendenhall?
Here.
Miller? Here. Rader? Here. Scaife? Here. Shackman? Here. Shepard? Here. Small? Here. Stumpf? Here. Chumlin? Here. Truax? Here. Chairman's present. 26 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. One of your fellow board members, Sam Cameron, has notified both the chair and the clerk that he wishes to attend this meeting by telephone. This is allowed under the Open Meetings Act if a quorum of this body is present, which it is, and if a majority of the board, at least 15 members, vote to allow it. Mr. Cameron is prevented from physically attending this meeting for a cause recognized by the Open Meetings Act as one warranting participation via telephone conference. The chair will now entertain a motion to allow Mr. Cameron to... He hasn't gotten on yet. Then we'll proceed further and we'll see if Mr. Cameron joins us. Okay, very good.
The record would be 25 present, 3 absent.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. A reminder, we are recording and broadcasting the meeting, so please remember to speak into your microphone so folks at home can hear. All right, proceeding in the regular order, we have first up one of the happiest occasions on the county board, the opportunity to swear in a new county board member. And I am very pleased to recommend to the board, to nominate to the board for your consideration, Lene Clark. Lene and her family are well known to many of us. I want to make a special mention that Lene, when she was formerly employed at Decchio, was instrumental in helping the county cut through some really tangled bureaucratic nonsense. And I hope that she will bring that same, I hope she brought her shears and that same straightforward thinking to the county board. So my recommendation is that Lene Clark serve as the new county board member for Sangamon County. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Lene, if you proceed to the well of the chamber, and our clerk will proceed to swear you in.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Lene Clark, having been appointed to the office of Sangamon County Board District 4 in the state of Illinois, in the county of Sangamon, do solemnly swear
Hello?
the Constitution of the United States, support the Constitution
Hello?
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Sangamon County
Hello?
according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Hello? Hello?
I think
Hello?
that disembodied voice is the voice of our colleague, Mr. Canman. Mr. Canman, are you out there somewhere?
Correct, Chairman Van Meter. You are correct.
Yes. Mary reminds me to remind you to mute when you're not
Okay.
speaking.
Okay, will do.
And
Thank you.
we'll proceed to the process of admitting you to the board meeting. The chair will entertain a motion to allow Mr. Canman to participate via telephone conference. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion carries. The chair asks the clerk to revise the roll to reflect that Mr. Canman is participating in this meeting via telephone conference as allowed by the Open Meetings Act, and he is considered present at this meeting for purposes of determining a quorum and participating in all proceedings.
So reflected.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. All right. Proceeding back in the regular order. I know you found your seat and you're ready to all right, the first roll call is coming up. Proclamations. For what purpose does Ms. Fulgenzi and Mr. Stump seek recognition?
Before we get started, we wanted to call up the Harris Family Band. And while they're coming up here, what we're going to be reading about tonight is these are all siblings. They played together as a Terry Young, please come up. Terry's a music promoter in Springfield. And come up. You want him to be up here? Okay. And also Terry, he's a friend of their family, music promoter and former SMEA board member. And also, as you know, like I said, imagine 6 brothers and sisters playing together for 60 years. So while we're reading this, and also just so you know, a few of them tonight are going to be playing at Fulgenzi's Pizza and Pasta. And they're going to talk about some other things that they got going. But before that, I'd like to recognize Annette Fulgenzi.
I'm pleased to recognize these folks, and I don't know about you, but I don't know if I could do anything with my siblings for 60 years. So I love them, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read. Never, I'm sure. All right, so I'm going to bust loose with this. Okay. In recognition of the 60th anniversary of the Harris Family Band, whereas the Harris Family Band, comprised of 6 siblings, held its first performance on July 4th, 1966 at the DAV Club at Lake Springfield, and whereas originally known as the Little Big Shots, the group was formed under the guidance of their parents, Al Harris and Juanita Harris, and began performing throughout the Midwest at a young age. And whereas over time, the band expanded its reach to perform across the country while maintaining Springfield as its home base, and whereas performing as both Bustin' Loose and the Harris Family Band, the group has appeared at state fairs across the nation and participated in nationally televised and syndicated performances, including appearances at the Grand Ole Opry, Disney's Epcot, and the Texas Motor Speedway. And whereas the Harris Family Band is recognized as one of the longest-running sibling bands in the United States, with its original members representing a lasting contribution to the musical arts, and
whereas on July 4th, 2026, the Harris Family Band will celebrate 60 years of performing, which they have already, together with a commemorative concert scheduled for July 26th, 2026 at the Firefighters Club at Lake Springfield. And whereas the Harris Family Band's 60 years of music have brought joy to audiences and pride to Sangamon County community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Sangamon County Board, do hereby proclaim July 26, 2026 as Harris Family Band Day in Sangamon County, Illinois, and encourage residents to recognize and celebrate their contributions to the cultural life of the community. By order of the County Board on this 14th day of July 2026, Andy Van Meter, County Board Chairman. Congratulations.
Please come out
Come on up
Sunday,
here.
July
Come on up here
26th.
to the mic. It's being recorded.
Okay. We invite everybody to come out to the Firefighters Club at 1 o'clock, July 26th. We're celebrating our 60 years of performing music together. There's no cover, it's free. We're giving away TV and some new guitars just to share our love of music. It's going to be a fun day. It's also a family event. We've got prizes for all the kids. So please, if you can, make it out and help us celebrate that day. Thank you.
The- the- If that presentation opens up some seats, if the folks that are standing would please grab those seats, because our rules don't allow people to stand, so please take the open seats. The chair's informed that Mr. Goldman, our auditor, has a proclamation to present.
I'd like to ask Brother Bob and Craig Kennedy and Dave McDonough come forward for proclamation.
Thank you, Andy. Mr. Chairman, members of the Sangamon County Board, it is an honor today to recognize an organization that has shaped the character of millions of young men across the globe. Founded in 1919, D. Malay International recently marked a historic milestone of 100 years of leadership, brotherhood, and community service. Today, our county officially celebrates that enduring centennial legacy and the vital role D. Malay continues to play in molding the civic leaders of tomorrow. It is my privilege to read the following proclamation. In recognition of the 100th anniversary of the Stephen A. Douglas Order of the D. Malay Chapter, whereas the Order of D. Malay is a character-building organization of young men from 12 to 21 years of age who are seeking to prepare themselves to become better citizens and leaders for tomorrow by developing those traits of character which have strengthened good men in all ages. And whereas the organization has carried out the aforementioned goals for over 100 years through programs of athletic competition, social activity, civic service, and charitable projects. And whereas the members of Stephen A. Douglas Chapter are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the chapter. Senior D. Malay members include the late Springfield Mayor William C. Telford, Sangamon County Coroner, the late Norman Richter, and Sangamon County Board Chair, Administrator of the General Services Administration, and Adjunct General of the State of Illinois, the late Richard G. Austin. And whereas they exemplify to all citizens here and everywhere their many activities and to tender recognition to their millions of current and senior D. Malays. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Sangamon County Board, do hereby recognize and celebrate the contributions of the Stephen A. Douglas Order of D. Malay and congratulate them on their 100th anniversary. By order of the County Board on this 14th day of July, 2026, Andy Van Meter, County Board Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chairman Van Meter and Sangamon County Board members. My brother Bob and I have been part of the D. Malay chapter here in Springfield for more than 50 years. And it has been a pleasure to help young men between the ages of 12 and 21 grow and become good citizens. We would invite you all to our 100th anniversary celebration, which will be August the 1st in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. The doors open at Ansar Shrine downtown here. And we will have a program and really a good time and go over some great history. The DeMolay chapter here in Springfield, as you heard some of the names, some of the other names as we looked at our roster, the entire Carasotis family, all those young men were members of the chapter. Several local businessmen, the Scaife family, several of those brothers were members. The Lindley family run floral operations here in Springfield, and all great members of the DeMolay chapter. So thank you so much for the proclamation. Really appreciate it.
Next, we have our county auditor has arranged a very boring presentation. And this is the kind of presentation that you want to be boring. This is the annual audit. Mr. Auditor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this time we have our review of our annual audit from the outside auditors, Clifton, Larson, and Allen. We have with us tonight Brian Mateus, who is the signing director, and Kayla Mormon, who was the manager.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Like Andy just mentioned, my name is Brian Mattis. I am a signing director with Clifton, Larson, Allen. I'm here to present the results of the county's 2025 external audit. With me here, I have Kayla Mormon. She was one of the two managers that worked on the audit this year. As part of our audit, we issued 5 different deliverables, which are on the screen here in front of you. I'll be touching on each of these in a little bit more detail on future slides. Going to be a little bit more high level than the finance committee meeting. Try to speed it up for you. The first deliverable that we issued, which is the meat and potatoes of the audit, is the audited financial statements. We issued clean, unmodified opinions on all of the opinion units. The second deliverable that was issued was the Consolidated Year-End Financial Report, or CIFER. The CIFER pretty much summarizes all the state and federal grant expenditures of the county for the year, and we found that the CIFER was fairly stated in all material respects in regards to the financial statements of the county. The third deliverable would be the single audit report. The county is required to have a single audit because the county expends over $1 million of federal awards in fiscal year 2025. There's 2 components of it. The first component of the single audit focuses on internal controls over financial reporting. Similar to last year, there was 2 financial statement findings. The first one being that we proposed material audit adjustments. The second one being that we had material revisions that were recommended on the CIFER and the CIFA. And then the second component focuses more on compliance and internal control over compliance over the major federal awards. As part of that testing, we did issue an unmodified clean opinion over the 3 major federal programs that we tested. Also, as part of that testing, we identified 4 different federal award findings, all of which were significant deficiencies. 3 of those federal award findings were in regards to the LIHEAP federal program, and then one of them was in regards to the CRISI grant, which the county receives through the city of Springfield. The fourth deliverable that was issued would be the governance letter. We are required by auditing standards to communicate noteworthy audit-related items to the board in writing. Kind of put some of the highlights here on the screen. In terms of accounting policies, the county implemented GASB 101, which relates to compensated absences. In regards to estimates, there's one sensitive estimate included in your financial statements, and that would be total OPEB liability and the related deferrals. There's no disagreements or difficulties with management. We did identify a few uncorrected misstatements that is attached to the governance letter, and then the audit adjustments that we proposed are also attached to the governance letter. And last but not least, the final deliverable that we issued would be a management letter. Pretty much what a management letter is it's internal control recommendations and deficiencies that we identified, but they don't rise to the level of a finding. Findings are the internal control deficiencies recommendations I talked about a few minutes ago in regard to the single audit. So these don't rise to that level, but it's still worth communicating in writing to management. The first one was lack of segregation of duties specific to the accounting function in the circuit clerk's office. The second one being lack of segregation of duties, more focused on the disbursement process in the Veterans Assistance Commission. And then the third one was internal controls over inventory. We had identified a few discrepancies with year-end inventory counts and calculations at the Highway Department. That is all I have prepared. Would like to just take a chance to thank Andy and Eric, their team, and anyone else that tolerated us with our questions and requests during the audit. It's a long process, and I know we have several requests and questions throughout the process, and we appreciate your help and patience. If anyone has any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Oh, thank you for that suitably boring report. Mr. Goldman, did you have anything boring to add to that?
Mr. Chairman, we did have a more in-depth presentation at the Finance Committee, and anyone who wants a copy of the audit can contact our office and we'll get it to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Proceeding in the regular order. Minutes. Motion by Mr. Madonia, second by Mr. Del Giorno for the approval of the minutes of the June 9th, 2026 meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Aye.
Approved. Correspondence. Motion by Mr. Del Giorno, second by Mr. Madonia to place correspondence on file with the clerk. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Correspondence will be placed on file with the clerk. Resolutions. Resolution number 1, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution 1, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for the Department of Public Health from Ethan Holloway for the purpose of evaluation and training of animals, taking into animal control in the amount of $65,000.
Motion by Mr. Shackman, seconded by Ms. Deputy to place Resolution 1 before the board. Questions, comments, members of the board on Resolution 1? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Canman.
Yes.
Clark. Constant. Diener. Del Giorno. Depi. Douglas Williams. Feipel. Forsythe. Frazee. Fulgenzi. Guyton.
Aye.
Hall. Krell. Madonia. McGuire. Mendenhall. Miller. Rader. Scaife. Shackman. Shepherd.
Aye.
Small. Stumpf. Chumlin. Truax. All 26 approve.
All those voting having voted in the affirmative, Resolution 1 is adopted. Resolution 2, Mr. Clerk.
Number 2, 2026-13, Thomas and Patricia Scott, 4476 Santira Road, Pawnee, granting a rezoning and a variance.
Motion by Mrs. Clark, seconded by Mr. Mendenhall to place Resolution 2 before the board. We're now entering the zoning portion of the meeting. It's our policy to ask if there are members of the audience who wish to speak in opposition to the proposed zoning. In opposition. Seeing none, are there members of the audience who feel it's necessary to speak in support of the proposed zoning? Seeing none. Mr. Mendenhall, you have a motion.
Since we have no opposition, I move we waive the staff report.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Questions, comments from members of the board on Resolution 2? Seeing none on the question, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 2 signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Aye.
Resolution 2 is adopted. Resolution 3, Mr. Clerk.
Number 3, 2026-14, Mattia Taverner, executor of the estate of Deborah Larson. Executor, thank you. I didn't want to execute anybody today. Sorry about that, Bettina. On my mind. 14800 block of, oh no, here I go again. Moomy Road, I say it correctly? Moomy Road, Mechanicsburg, granting variances.
Motion by Mr. Mendenhall, seconded by Mr. Rader to place Resolution 3 before the board. Are there members of the audience who wish to speak in opposition to the proposed zoning? Seeing none, are there members of the audience who feel it's necessary to speak in support of the proposed zoning? Seeing none, Mr. Mendenhall, you have a motion?
Since we have no opposition, I move we waive the staff
Is
report.
there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Questions, comments from members of the board on Resolution 3? Seeing none on the question, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 3 signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 3 is adopted. Resolution 4, Mr. Clerk.
Number 4, 2026-15, Fancy Creek Township, 6728 Britton Road, Springfield, granting a rezoning and variances in part.
Motion by Mr. Constant, seconded by the chairman. Place Resolution 4 before the board. Are there members of the audience who wish to speak in opposition to the proposed zoning? Seeing none, are there members of the audience who wish to speak in, feel it's necessary to speak in favor of the proposed zoning? Seeing none, Mr. Mendenhall, do you have a motion?
I move we waive the staff report since we have no opposition.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Questions, comments from members of the board on Resolution 4? Seeing none. On the question, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 4 signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 4 is adopted. Resolution 5, Mr. Clerk.
Number 5, 2026-16, Curtis and Kim Howard, 6045 New City Road, Rochester, granting variances.
Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Mendenhall to place Resolution 5 before the board. Are there members of the audience who wish to speak in opposition to the proposed zoning? Seeing none. Are there members of the audience who feel it's necessary to speak in support of the proposed zoning? Seeing none. Mr. Mendenhall, do you have a motion?
Since we have no opposition, I move we waive the staff report.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. Questions, comments from members of the board on Resolution 5? Seeing none. On the question, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 5 signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 5 is adopted. Resolution 6, Mr. Clerk.
Number 6, resolution amending the Sangamon County Code, Chapter 5, Period 16, in regard to the regulation of massage establishments.
Motion by Mr. Shackman, seconded by Mr. Krell to place Resolution 6 before the board. Questions, comments from members of the board on Resolution 6? Seeing none, do you have a motion, Mr. Madonia?
I move for the roll call vote for Resolution 1, stand for the roll call vote of Resolution 6.
Seconded by Mr. Del Giorno. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 6 is adopted. Motion by Mr. Del Giorno, seconded by Mr. Madonia for the waiver of the 10-day filing period. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 10-day filing period is waived. Resolution 7, Mr. Clerk.
Number 7, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for court services from Springfield Urban League for the purpose of case management services, assessment services, and mentoring services, in the amount of $264,040.
Motion by Ms. Fulgenzi, seconded by Ms. Small to place Resolution 7 before the board. Mr. Del Giorno.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I move to consolidate resolutions 8 through 14 in with 7.
Second by Mr. Madonia. Mr. Clerk, would please read Resolutions 8 through 14.
Number 8, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for court services from Gateway Foundation, Inc. for the purpose of substance abuse treatment services in the amount of $49,000. Number 9, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for court services from Gateway Foundation, Inc. for the purpose of providing recovery coaching to problem-solving court participants in the amount of $52,258. Number 10, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for information systems from Coverage One, Inc., Proofpoint, for the purpose of securing the county email and end-user security training in the amount of $91,107. Number 11, resolution reducing fees for electronic recorded documents obtained through Laredo. Number 12, resolution amending an agreement with Charles Joseph Pell Architects for the Community Services Building in the amount of $342,725. Number 13, resolution approving the annual salaries for the Sangamon County State's Attorney, Chief Public Defender, and the Sheriff. And number 14, resolution setting forth budget policies for the preparation of the fiscal year 27 Sangamon County budget.
On the motion to consolidate, all in favor signify by saying aye. Question, the motion to consolidate is passed unanimously. Questions or comments from members of the board on the resolutions as consolidated? Seeing none, Mr. Madonia, do you have a motion?
I move that the roll call vote for Resolution 1 stand for the roll call vote of Resolutions 7 through 14 as consolidated.
Second by Mr. Madonia. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolutions as consolidated are adopted. Resolution 15, Mr. Clerk.
Number 15, resolution regarding A, rezoning as R1 single-family residence, all land within 1.5 miles of the current boundaries of Sangamon County municipalities, other than Springfield, towns, and villages, and B, amending the zoning ordinance so that agricultural uses are no longer allowed in every zoning district.
Motion by Mr. Hall, seconded by Mr. Frazee to place resolution 15 before the board.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask to withdraw number 15 and have it returned back to the zoning committee so that it can go through the proper channels.
Mr. Hall is the author of Resolution 15, and at his request, the resolution will be withdrawn. Resolution 16, Mr. Clerk.
16, resolution approving the procurement of goods and/or services for the ETSD from AT&T and Axon for the purpose of 5-year contract for cloud-based AI tools and enhancements for 911 in the amount of $3,163,085.71.
Motion by Mr. Rader, seconded by Mr. Madonia, to place Resolution 16 before the board. Questions, comments, members of the board on Resolution 16? Seeing none, Mr. Madonia, you have a motion?
I move that the roll call vote for Resolution 1 stand for the roll call vote of Resolution 16.
Seconded by Mr. Del Giorno. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolution 16 is adopted. Old business. The chair is aware of no old business. Is there old business? Very good. New business, appointments. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno for the approving the appointments as submitted to your desks. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no.
I'd like to abstain from Board of Review appointment, please.
The appointments are approved, but the record reflect Mr. Madonia abstaining from the appointment to the Board of Review. Any others? The appointments are approved as submitted. Change of the County Board meeting date to September 1st to avoid the conflict with Labor Day. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno for the change of meeting date to September 1st. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Meeting date for September is changed to September 1st. County holidays. Motion by Mr. I'm informed that we just received the state holiday schedule, which we follow, but we have to approve this. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno for the approval of the holiday schedule for 2027. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The holiday schedule is approved. Public comment. We have 8 people who signed up for public comment this evening. Each person will have 4 minutes to speak. And we take the people who signed up to speak in the order that they signed up to speak. And the first person who signed up to speak this evening is Justin King, speaking on data centers. Data center solar.
My name is Justin King, resident, farmer, landowner, Western Sangamon County. On July 10th, 2018, the Sangamon County Board denied a use variance request from Advanced Seed Solutions, owned by 2 local residents, to build a 240 by 110-foot building on a 5-acre parcel just west of Springfield to house an agricultural seed business. This request was approved 5-0 by the Sangamon County Zone Board of Appeals. I'm now going to quote a July 10th, 2018 State Journal Register article. I quote Board Member Tom Madonia Jr. of Rochester. I quote Board Member Tom Madonia Jr. of Rochester commented on the number of people who had signed a petition opposed to the plan. He said he counted about 210 signatures of people who live in the area and added they are the ones who are familiar with the roads. He said this is democracy at its best. The people have spoken, take their advice, end quote. The people have spoken, take their advice. This is democracy at its best. You cared about the 210 people of Sangamon County on July 10, 2018, when the matter was a 240 by 110-foot ag seed business building on 5 acres, but now when the matter is a 280-acre data center, and there have been thousands of folks locally and across this country screaming this is not okay, you turn a blind eye. You completely disregard democracy. June 25th, 2026, Illinois Times article. Madonia told Illinois Times that while he respects King's opinion, he's comparing apples to oranges, arguing the hundreds of people who signed the 2018 petition were verifiable nearby residents. Madonia, were you at the BOS Center when hundreds of people stood up in real life and spoke? Are you saying those people, myself included, are not verifiable people?
Mr. King, our rules don't allow you to engage the board or board members with questions, but continue with your presentation.
It's not a question. I'm just. Are you? Are you saying the people, myself included, are not verifiable? Are you saying the petition with the current petition with 1,719 signatures opposed to the data center are not verifiable? Is someone saying the residents of Sangamon County are not verifiable people? Is that how the yes voters of this board, the ones that are ignoring their constituents, view us as not verifiable? Madonia said, unlike the data center, where I have had 0, maybe 2, 3 people maybe that live within 1 mile to 2 miles from the area contact me, that is it. So it's a belief that there is 0, maybe 2 or 3 people that are opposed to the data center? That's all? Madonia also cited a local school district's opposition to the 2018 seed business, calling the proposal a recipe for disaster. So there's a thought that a 240 by 110 foot machine shed on a 5-acre parcel is a recipe for disaster, but a 280-acre data center is not. I just think something's wrong here. Thank you.
Okay, the next person who signed up to speak is Lori McKiernan.
Good evening. I'm Lori McKiernan. I would like to revisit the data center moratorium issue. Under Illinois law, a municipality is authorized to classify, regulate, and restrict the location of trades and industries and the location of buildings designed for specified industrial, business, residential, and other uses. This comes from the Illinois Municipal Code. The process for declaring a moratorium must adhere to existing zoning procedures and ordinances. For a period of time, a data center moratorium effectively bans what might be an otherwise lawful use, and banning a use requires a change to zoning code of the county. This is considered to be an amendment to the zoning code, and changes to the zoning require public notice, a public hearing, findings of fact, and an ordinance amending the zoning code of a municipality to be approved by required bodies. To avoid a court challenge, the zoning process must be followed. A moratorium can't be implemented just for the sake of delaying a data center project. The ordinance needs to state what will be done during the time period approved. The ordinance needs to define, for instance, that the 6 to 12-month moratorium will be used to research the impact of a data center on the community, or that the time will be used to research and implement data center regulations. So these are the data center moratoriums that I'm aware of in Illinois. Aurora had a 180-day moratorium adopted in September. It was later extended by a week while they were finishing up their zoning regulations. Bloomington implemented a 6-month moratorium in May. Bourbonnais, Illinois approved a moratorium in June. It expires January 31st. Carbondale has a 12-month moratorium that they approved in June. Normal approved a 6-month moratorium in May. Godfrey, Illinois did a 180-day moratorium in January. Plainfield, a 180-day moratorium approved in April. Troy, Illinois, a 6-month moratorium approved in March. Champaign County approved a 12-month moratorium, and they also approved a task force to develop amendments to their zoning regulations, including experts and members of the public. Christian County approved a moratorium in August. Fulton County approved a 6-month moratorium in March. Lake County approved an 8-month moratorium in June of 2026 and imposed an administrative deferral on applications that were pending adoption. Logan County, 12-month moratorium, May of 2026. Macon County, a 1-year moratorium was approved by their ZBA in June. The full county board was going to vote June 20th, but I have not verified that. They also have an ad hoc volunteer citizens advisory committee to address data centers. And Morgan County, a 6-month moratorium approved in April. Now, I do want to point out that Logan County's moratorium has been declared invalid by their local state's attorney, but not because a moratorium isn't legal. It was because they didn't follow the proper zoning process. They skipped ZBA approval and sent the vote straight to the county board. A moratorium is zoning change and must follow the zoning process. They didn't do that. So it's questionable why their state's attorney didn't advise the county prior to this vote on the moratorium, but even state's attorneys can make mistakes. Our county's assistant state's attorney has convinced our county board members that a moratorium isn't legal. However, I would suggest that this is just his interpretation of the law. All of these
I'll
other counties and
take the bag back
municipalities
in the
have
car.
decided differently. How can it be that all of
I
these
can with the
cities-
bird on my
Mr.
shoulder.
Cameron, Mr. Cameron, would you mute your phone, please? Go ahead.
all of
I'm
these
sorry, Chairman. I thought I was on mute.
All of these other counties and municipalities have decided differently. How can it be that all of these cities, towns, and counties are all wrong and our assistant state's attorney is the only one who is right? I ask that you get another opinion of Mr. Benoit's interpretation of this decision. It just makes no sense that we're the only government in Illinois that sees a moratorium to not be a valid legal solution. Thank you.
Ms. McKernan, did you cite a statute in your Can we have a copy of that? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, the next person who signed up to speak is Salem King. Salem King? Not here? Okay. The next person who signed up to speak is Aaron Kirkpatrick.
Good evening. I'm Erin Kirkpatrick, and I live in District 11. I'm here tonight to ask this board to consider all data center projects to be zoned as special use. Sometimes in life, you find yourself on a continuing education webinar for lawyers, and you're not a lawyer, but you're hearing lawyers being educated about the law about data centers and their zoning, and specifically, you're hearing about how moratoriums are perfectly appropriate regarding their application to data centers, as data centers do not fit into any previous category of zoning, and it specifically may allow time for us to update zoning. Look at Sangamon County. We passed zoning for a data center to be placed on land zoned for agriculture, not industrial use, but agricultural use. And you don't need me to enumerate the seemingly endless ways in which data centers are not the same as plant or animal ag. My takeaway from the moratorium component of that webinar is that a 6 to 12-month moratorium to be able to objectively understand data centers and their potential impacts to our community is perfectly legal as long as it is introduced and approved just as we would update any zoning ordinance. That's the part Logan County got wrong, with public notice and a public hearing, which could be as simple as a meeting such as tonight where the public has an opportunity to speak. And I wanted to share this due to my degree of frustration, disappointment, and incredulity at the legal counsel I heard you all receive regarding moratoriums. But my primary concern tonight is regarding special use zoning. It is my opinion that we need to significantly update our zoning pertaining to data centers. And yes, I'm aware of the proposed updates. I'm also aware that current Sangamon County zoning of wind and solar projects are a combined 60 pages, so 30 pages each, and that the revised data center zoning would total 5 pages. I have never wanted to copy and paste more in my life. Did you know we have full decommissioning plans outlined in our solar zoning? Why don't we have a word about decommissioning in our current data center zoning? Our data center zoning looks like a junior high student submitted an outline as a final project and forgot to go back and fill in any substance. And regardless of any updates we make to the specific language in our zoning ordinance, I could not more strongly recommend that if we only implemented one rule regarding data centers, it would be that we consider them special use. The presentation we heard at the BOS Center regarding why more time was necessary to consider community impacts of the Cyrus 1 data center was a sound argument, specifically concerning the consideration of the LaSalle factors. As we heard, the LaSalle factors are considered foundational legal criteria established by the Illinois Supreme Court regarding local zoning boards, and criteria to determine if zoning is constitutional, reasonable, or arbitrary. These include but are not limited to the extent to which property values are diminished by the zoning, the public welfare, including the public's health and safety, as well as the community need or lack of need. What the special use designation does, as I understand it, is it allows for the county to determine on a case-by-case basis whether or not each proposed data center meets those LaSalle factors. Further, special use designation allows the county to place a fee on zoning consideration. For example, the county could charge $1,000 per acre for zoning consideration. For the Cyrus 1 project, that would have allowed $200,000 to be able to hire our own investigators or specialists to determine the positive or negative impacts on our community for that specific project. It would have been funded by the multi-billion-dollar company, and it could have raised any questions, points of clarification, or concerns before approval while keeping our community's best interests in mind. So please pass a moratorium to give us some time to do some heavy-handed copying and pasting, and add a special use designation to our data center zoning ordinance now, before the next data center comes to your district. Thank you.
I want to make a note to staff. I think we need to get a longer microphone at these two podiums, so it's easier for the public to speak into them. Okay, the next person who signed up to speak is Ken Pesha. Not here this evening? Okay, the next person who signed up to speak is Nick Anderson. Okay. The next person who signed up to speak is Gary Schultz. Not here? Or, oh.
I apologize. I didn't have my speech ready that I wanted, so I threw some one-liners together. When I was out getting signatures for petitions from the people for the data center, nobody wanted it, but they said the board members wouldn't change their mind. They're going to do what they had their minds made up. And that's something I didn't like hearing. People should feel that they should be able to talk to the board members if they have a problem with something, not worry, not think that they can't. Don't answer this, but how do you board members feel about that? I mean, I would hope that you guys would feel people could talk to you. I've talked a lot in my speeches about the construction side of data centers because that's what I know the most about. That brings me to data center projects being pushed through, having board members vote on them who aren't educated about these data centers. The only education that a lot of people get is what the data center gives them and the dangers of them. That's a heavy responsibility put on the shoulders of people who need to be educated on what they're voting on, especially something that's so negatively life-changing for so many. Especially when some members said they're going to vote yes because it's not by them. That's not educated. Members who vote yes just to keep the peace is not educated. And that doesn't make it right. I am against the data center, as are many. We have a group that's against it, and if anybody wants any information about it, see me after the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. All right, and the last person who signed up to speak is Jordan Shaw.
Good evening. I'm also going to talk about data centers, except I will be perfectly honest. The previous public speakers did a lot more intellectual discussing about it, where I'm just going to go with the good old-fashioned, I've talked to people and they're mad. I've been saying this for months. It's all good. But first things first, after that, I do like to give a shout out to the residents of Louder and around Waverly and Verdon for their recent lawsuit against Cyrus One. That's very exciting. Yay! Especially considering that I know for a fact that they were able to get a lawyer around the area because Cyrus One decided to retain a bunch of the rural lawyers. Interesting. Like they almost like they knew that a lot of people weren't going to want this, especially the people who live within the area where the data center was going to be built. So I am very happy for them. I know it's going to be a long road and it's going to be very difficult, but I am hoping beyond hope that, you know, David's able to fight Goliath in this instance. But now that I've stated that, it's still just more and more infuriating the longer you sit with it, because I know you guys thought this was going to be done March 23rd. I know. And then it ended up getting a stay to April 7th, and then it pushed through. But it's July, and we're still here. And I believe all of the speakers who were able to speak tonight was in regards to the data center. We're not going away. We're not just going to stop talking about it because, oh, you can't fight City Hall, can't fight the county board. No, this is serious. These are people's livelihood. This is where they work, where they live, their animals, their generational lives. You honestly think this is about just a simple, oh, that building's going to be ugly. Now, I don't want to see that ugly building outside my house. No, this is going to affect people physically, health-wise, mentally. You know, there's actual studies that it's messing with farm life, that there are animals who are having consistent and constant stillbirths because of the data center and the noise, and it's messing with them. Look, I get it. Money's shiny, money's pretty, and we're all broke. I get it. But you gotta actually care about the people who live in these areas. You gotta care. Like if you're going in a situation where it's like, okay, I as a public official have to vote yes on things that I don't agree, or I have to get this thing. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you voted yes. And a lot of people are furious with that yes, and that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your tenure. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that concludes the public comment portion of the meeting. Returning to the regular order, reports of county officials, reports of special committees, reports of standing committees, reports of the Committee on Claims. Motion by Mr. Madonia, seconded by Mr. Del Giorno, that the reports be placed on file with the clerk. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reports will be placed on file with the clerk. Motion by Mr. Del Giorno, seconded by Mr. Madonia, that we do stand in recess until our regularly scheduled August meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye. We stand in recess.